Rolling. I got my China man hat. Well, it's a China girl hat. So it's TGIF. I did not want to pick against the Dodgers. You understand that? Only because somebody made fun of me. Alright, I just know that somehow I would be misunderstood, but that's okay. That's okay. God forgives you. I really had that moment of breaking down somehow when I thought of what Jesus did, and he really didn't have to. What I'm saying is there was no need. It was like, hey, joke's on you folks, you're idiots, okay, you're all gonna die because you're sinners, right? But it wasn't so. That he loved us so much. I used to thought, it's kind of hokey. Oh, God loved the world so much that he gave his only begotten son. I mean, I even seen that where posting in Chinese when I was a little kid. But somehow it sort of stuck in my brain that God so loved the world. 神爱世人，这是一个中国话。If you didn't know that, I also speak Chinese sort of fluently. And I got into a fight with somebody in Chinese yesterday, so anyway, don't provoke me to anger. I'm trying to learn to pray in Chinese as well, just because I have not practiced that. 像主啊，神啊，我是你的孩子. You know, very simple terms like we use, like dear Father. But it's very authentic when you speak it in Chinese. For some reason, I ran into Carol, who is a friend of my mother, who's been forever. Sadly to say that a lot of Chinese folks, I don't know about other races, probably never assimilate, which is something that I am vehemently against. I know there's a lot of things to overcome, but to learn the Constitution, you must learn the Bill of Rights, the Founding Father, how this country is formed. That's why I like this OAN, One America Network. Because without knowing, this is how you perish. Remember that we have to know. And the Lord will honor you. So I was praying with her in Chinese because she was hurting from a lot of people got diabetes, and it's a scam. It's a scam from the pharmaceutical companies that to kill you slowly so they can take your money and give you all the injections. That's really one of the most lucrative business. Why am I wearing this hat? Yeah, because Asian Cajun. I just did this interview called, I don't know, Legend AM, supposedly with Stan Lee. I don't know. I'm the celebrity chef interview. Or what do you call the Determinator or Terminator? Somebody just walked behind me. Quiet on the set. I'm kidding. So the sad part that I said that Jesus had no place to lay his head. I think my roommate just came and blew the set. No, I'm kidding. Oh, what happened to your teeth?
What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you were going to the dentist. No,
I did, but he gave me a filling in the back.
Oh, yeah, with gold? Did you ask about gold? I was gonna get gold because Maria Hansen, she said get gold.
She said gold is the best.
Yeah, don't do that there. But coffee, no. We have very, this is not a democracy here, you understand? Just like NFL. So I'm kind of glad that NFL is suffering. Okay, we have to... Right, we have to support the fact that if you're not patriotic, you're not playing for me. All right, if you don't love my country, you should get out of my country. And you know, I should not be afraid of saying this because I've seen it from, you know, bird's eye point of view. All right, 1776, Delaware. Were you there when they freeze their ass off? Washington and their men. Were you there? If you were not there, then you have no right to say America is evil. If you don't like where you came from, wherever, I ran into these people from Kuwait, China, or they say they hate America, but they're here taking our money. Go back to your country and have a freaking revolution if you didn't like your country. Don't come here and complain and then, let's go get them. I have this newspaper from Chinese newspaper. nothing but big ads of H1B visa, how to get in there, how to apply for phony marriage license and all that kind of stuff. Oh my God, I'm just like, whew, it gets me going a little bit. So, he thought it was funny that I was just making my coffee. You have to forgive this.
I agree 100%.
He get to stay one more day, live to see another day. Otherwise, chop chop. Because, anyways, my excuse is that it's not democracy here. But I kind of broke down a little bit. I don't know why. It just came to me that the Son of Man had nowhere to lay his head, even though that he's the Son of God. But isn't that weird? No, he would be despised. He would be like, I don't know where I'm going to stay tonight. I'm talking about Jesus. And this reminded me, so I just have to say that real quick, and I'm going to let you go. Class will be dismissed very quickly. That Pastor Jack Hafer, and it's funny that he retired, right? But I'm going to give up watching the World Series numbers, I don't know, 5. Sunday, I'm going to go back to the last class of Jack Hafer intercessory prayers, because as much as I saw some of the Alex Jones video. I mean, I was just glancing, don't say it, I was driving, and I was just glanced down, and I did not know he went back a long ways, and he was shouting in front of the federal building. He said, who tell my reporter that we cannot video in front of the federal building? He said the First Amendment is the right, it's like a muscle. If you don't exercise, they're just gonna squash you. If you, hide your head in the sand. And we're not going to do that. So my point is the prayer muscles you have to exercise. If you don't pray, then it's also going to wither. And that's the power of it. The prayer is powerful, because we are not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against the principalities of what? Of the power of the darkness. I think I'm going to stop because right now for a second, because there's cutting going on. It's a little bit of noisy. So I'm going to try to blast through it. That Jesus is the worst of, I think Pastor Jack said the worst thing, that saddest thing in the whole universe was this verse. I don't really have it because I have my book. Okay, shame on me, all right? I was just looking online. Shame on me. That he came to his own. The Word became flesh. And in the beginning there was the Word. The Word became flesh. This is so distracting when someone is moving around beside me. Okay, stop moving around. I know. So, okay. At least it's real. I just have not figured out how to stream yet. Stream live. Then you can see me like going cuckoo. Yeah. Use the wooden spoon. So I'm going to throw away that rubber tip spoon, and this is what I told Mark, that when you put the rubber tip in, I'm talking about the spoon, in the pot, it melts a little bit, and then you're going to get the toxin, which is like BPC or BPA or whatever. But the Son of God, the Word made heaven and earth. In the beginning there is the Word, and then the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. The Word, I didn't understand that. The Word, God is the Word. So don't ask me why, but everything is formed by His Word. He spoke. All He did is He spoke, and heaven and earth came into presence. So He is that powerful. He said that let there be light. And this is against what I've learned when they try to shove this thing down in my throat like I was an amoeba. I was a little worm or something, and so-called Darwinism and evolution. That's bogus. It's totally anti-Christ, because God said it very clearly. See, Satan tried to deny everything that's of God from God, and because he wants to be God, he wants you to think that there's no God. That's why, the atheists, and pretty much you have hardened your hearts, and if you deny the Lord, harden your hearts, I hate to say that, you're gonna lose. I don't know why that's funny, but to me that's kind of funny. But the sad thing, I was saying that the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. All right, he was almost like he just wandering around, like he said, like John the Baptist was wandering around eating locusts, and probably have no sandals on their feet. So the Word became flesh. I don't know how it happened, but the Word became flesh. That's what the Word says. And dwell among us, that He made us. But I think Jack Hayford said that. Help me out. So what book is it? I know Matthew talks a lot, but I just went through it. I didn't see that in Matthew's. But He dwelt among us, but we do not recognize Him, and we denied Him. An exact verse was the Son of Man became flesh and dwelt among us, and we rejected Him. So that's really sad. All right, it's very sad. Why? I'm not saying that just for a expression. If you made something, for example, you spend your flesh and blood and energy, made a drone or whatever. I don't know, or just made a little shaping of a pot, clay, a figure. You know, I used to make, like, I hate to use the word, the origami. It's a paper bird that you sort of fold them together, and it's just a decoration. It's no big deal. But imagine that if that bird that I made that could talk and say, screw you, I don't give a rat's ass about you, or your children, for example, that deny you, that would be a very sad thing. And this is really sad. So I don't know why I brought that up. I just brought it up. Anyway, no DACA. All right. So we do not want people who do not love us, and this is how the communists are trying to dilute the country. Unless that they join the military and they do not receive welfare. That's really the bottom line, because you cannot force everybody, yoke them, and say, oh, the government's gonna give you so much money or whatever, and then bring everybody over, so they're gonna be, from your village over, millions of you, and they don't care about us. They just want to take advantage of us. So no DACA. That's the bottom line. Like I said, unless they agree, never receive any kind of welfare, or just they have to join the military. What I'm saying is true, that your home, it's your house, right? Out of goodness of your heart, maybe you'll have like an extra room in the basement or whatever. I don't care. Maybe you'll have like 7 dwarves that will come and live in your house, and you're willing to feed them. But after a while, let's just see how much of a shamble if all of them that bring in everybody else, the grandma, grandpa, and you're guilty. You have to feed us. No, you're not guilty. You are not guilty. I think, like I seen a video, a white person said that he wants to commit suicide because everybody else make him feel so guilty. This is a scam. There's a calling for like mass suicide by white people or something, or force white people to have contraceptives or something like that. It's a scam. Because go back to the root of it. This is called America, all right? It's not Cuba, it's not China. So if you want to be in America, be American, learn the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and obey what the 4 founding fathers have said and laid down for us, that we are created by God and worship God. Government is not your God. And exactly that's why we rebelled. George Washington rebelled, yes. If they failed their coup attempt against the Great Britain, it would all be firing squad. You see what I'm saying? So people did bled and died. That's why the anthem is so important. If you did not know, our flag, the Star Spangled, was shot up. Like you could barely see it in the middle of the night. That's why the anthem, it's like, people say, oh, it's so racist. What's so racist about it? Or bloody, or whatever. It was a bloody war, all right? So there were blood shed. But if your ancestor did not shed that blood, I mean, we gave, the founding father gave everybody a chance. And like I said, if you want to go back to Africa, where there's a insurrection in a village and people hacking each other with machetes and stuff like that, then, you know, you want to go change that country. Kenya, it's a mess. Niger, you know, or people who just came here from China, from every province of China, because they heard they can have a good retirement here on taxpayer funds. You should be really upset. Okay, I'm really upset. I don't care about how you feel, but I'm upset, and people misunderstand me. I'm upset. Okay, I'm not saying like Robert Herrera or these people that just vainly use the word racist. They call you a racist no matter what. So that I should go to their houses and force them to feed me every fucking day. Otherwise, they're racist. Because I'm just a Chinese woman who, you know, can't afford to buy my own bag of rice. So with that said, I drove to the gym. I couldn't believe it. I don't want to, you know, made a big deal out of this World Series thing because Red Sox is out. Okay. Yes, I am a Red Sox New England fan. Don't ask me why. I was not born a clam chowder, but I was married to a chowder head, and I sort of like it. I like my Patriots gear, and I followed the Patriots when they were 1-15. Yes, if you don't believe it, ask Greg Monk. But okay, long story forward, short. That Red Sox is out of contention, and it's okay. I'm rooting for the AL. Nothing wrong with that. But I never hated the Dodgers. I never said I hate the Dodgers. But I did not like it when I drove to the gym. I have to say that. I warn you. I don't know if it's a joke or not. I thought you were a friend, Carlos. I actually, he gave me so many good lemons from the tree, right? But maybe it was a joke. But just how he presented it, he was yelling at me through the window, like, if you don't root for the Dodgers, we'll take you out of the car. And then right now, and, you know, beat your ass or whatever. I was like, okay, it's a joke, right? And, you know, people just go on and on and say, wow, I did not hate the Dodgers. Now you made me hate them all of a sudden, right? Because it provokes this spirit like, oh, don't tell me what to do. You know, I wasn't really crazy about the Astros, except for, I know Andrew, I have to mention that Andrew Cruz, by the way, he's Mexican, and he's I don't want to use the word staunch Republican, but a believer in the First Amendment, and he served in the Houston Community Police. So, yeah! Houston! That's all I got to say. I know I scared everybody away. Hey, it's a dictatorship. It doesn't have to be. If you're at your house, you don't have a democracy. It's different. Because if you're the provider of your home, then you have a say. You see what I'm saying? There's no democracy in your home. So get that clear. Just like the military, there's rankings. It's not a democracy. Oh, we vote whether you're going to be a third gender today or not. There's no such thing. It's I tell you the way you were born. It's in your DNA. And if you didn't know that, I learned that. I go, wow, that's shocking. Sorry, I have to change the subject again. That people try to cut off their peepees or mutilate their genitals. I got news for you. It's all about rebellion. I mean, really, come down to it. It's a spiritual blindness rebellion. Like Satan tells us, oh, no. Yeah, don't listen to the Lord. It's the same lie. Don't listen to God. You rebel. And then don't do what they think it's right. Like, they think this is right about marriages between man and woman. No, we're going to rebel against that. But the fact is, if you didn't know that every cell in your body has already been encoded with the DNA, which make you XY, your chromosomes, or XX. Hey, at least I went to class that day. So XX means that you're a female. And if you're XY, this is how magically, I didn't invent it, how the Lord invented it. That the male has the, if you didn't know, classroom, the male has the chromosomes of XY, and the female's XX. And that's that chromosome chromosome is so tiny that you can't even see it, but it's in our cell, every cell, gazillion, kabillion. So even if you want to rebel, it's in the mind. But the Lord had already written, and we're not supposed to change. I guess it's, we're not like interchangeable. That's what I'm saying, is who you are is who you are in this lifetime. So it's futile. That's all. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying it would be futile. That's why a lot of people regret it after they feel it's all emotional, whatever, psychological. It's I don't want to say hallucination. It's a lie of the enemy saying, oh, you be happier, cut off your PP or whatever. If it wasn't working, I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. But they have like maybe implants for a penis or something. Anyways, hey, I'm just a sinner saved by grace, and don't be criticizing me, okay? Yeah, who have no sin cast the first stone, and that's not a sin by saying that, but I'm just sort of dissecting the picture, the grander picture. So hey, it's it's up to you. It's not my problem. But I just don't want to have to pay for other people's confusion and surgeries and all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, deal with your own problems. But that is true that when the male and the female together, and I suppose, in your genes, the chromosome or the sperm that gives out the X and the Y, right? So it's up to, they say, that's what they say, it's up to the female, the egg releases, which has the X. If it marries the Y, then your fetus is the male fetus. So it's XY. It's pretty simple. I mean, God made it pretty simple, but it's like, oh, that's why it's either male or female. There's not a third gene. It's in every cell. If you didn't count, no, there's like gazillion. All right. I think I was gonna say, oh yeah. So I want to catch the game. And I am pulling for the Astros just because Carlos at my gym was yelling at me so loudly and threateningly. I don't know if he was joking or not, but I go, I'm pulling for the Astros, and actually put my money in my mouth. So the game 2, I hate to say that there was a big fire, but it shows you that this California fire, so-called the Sonoma, they're just standing around. There's a stand-down order, and I keep reiterate that there is a terrible scheme to, like from Vegas, to kill Republicans and to kill Trump supporters. I hate to say that because when I don't want to say I hate to say that, so I take that back. All right, I don't hate to say that. I just see it. I saw it. How is that? That Dodger Stadium, somehow there was a fire, and it went to 11th inning. If you didn't know that the game number 2, so they're tied because Astros keep, they just keep fighting, and I like that. Verlander, he's a fighter. He came out. I mean, he had his innings, or he's a starter, right? If you didn't know, then you better just learn who's Verlander and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he's really good. Okay, I don't know about this picture today. That's why I was asking Andrew if he knows. I don't think he knows, but he got a t-shirt. Give me that shirt. He's been trying to get me to go to Houston forever. Hey, I don't know. I like Texas, and eventually I might even go there. I like the Gulf. I like the water. I like the warmer water, but I don't like mosquitoes, because mosquitoes love me of Chinese food. So there was a fire outside Dodger Stadium, if you didn't know, like 11th inning, and the fire department with helicopters, they spend all their might in energy, water. They even dump off water, they said, the way that they usually don't do it with a nearby fire in a condo or a building, because they want to make sure that if it was for the liberals, I hate, again, I don't want to use that, so I take it back. Like celebrities, Hollywooders, they were in the game, right? The Dodger, I'm talking about Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles. They do everything to make sure that fire is put out. But no, not if it was Orange County, even if it was set intentionally, of course they're going to stand down. If you've seen the footage, they were just standing there, just waiting for it to burn. If you've seen the news footage, go look at it. In Truth by Grace has a lot of good posting on that. That was set intentionally. 16 to 20 fires simultaneously in Northern Cal, Sonoma County, Orange County. So I want to be careful. I'm not, being judgmental. I seen some theory said the government sets it so they can get the so-called the federal disaster declaration and $36 billion. And I can guarantee you, I don't know where the money went. It probably not gonna 10%, just like Hillary Clinton Foundation gonna go to the true victims that they burned up and people died. So I made a prayer about that the Lord will avenge. Because who am I? I can avenge a squash ant. I can't do nothing. I'm just saying there's an ant crawling around and I can avenge it for the ant that was squashed, you see. But Jesus is the answer. So they put out the fire so quickly around Dodger Stadium, but you're just gonna let the other houses burn, Anaheim Hills in Orange County, right? It's evil, and we have to call it out. It is evil. It's a intention in the Las Vegas killing. I don't know why, the mainstream media don't even talk about it now. But again, Jim Murin followed the money. Soros make $1 billion, seriously, before October 1st. So I call that was a Route 91101. The reminder of 911 happened in 01. Then they call it Route 911. 91, remember October 1? So just remember that the enemy parading, they flaunting in your face. They love actually to get a laugh out of it. It's run by this live entertainment in Las Vegas. Live entertainment. Jason Aldean and, they got so much money up the wazoo. Soros, Jim Murin. So keep digging, brothers and sisters. Keep digging, keep digging. The death of Bellman. I mean, this Patsy so-called a setup, and now this so-called the savior they put on the scene. It's in the script, in the oh my God, the sudden downfall of their own Weinstein. They ate their own, so maybe he screwed up in this production of Las Vegas. I'm just telling you that I need answers. Okay, so write me below or email me or whatever, and I'm trying to figure out if somebody wants me to do this coding thing. Yeah, I don't know how to do it, but I'll let you know.